For thousands of years, curses and demons have been at war in the country of Japan. The curses were led by the infamous sorcerer, Sukuna. It is said that he only worked with the curses due to their common goal of defeating their mortal enemies. On the other side, the demons were led by Muzan, the ancestors of all demons. Centuries ago, there was a large-scale battle that saw the death of the majority of both races. Finally, as the battlefield only had around 100 soldiers each, Muzan and Sukuna stood face to face in battle. It's said that they both killed each other in this battle, leading to the eradication of almost all curses and demons. For years, sorcerers and demon slayers only had to deal with small numbers of demons and cursed spirits. However, centuries later, it was discovered that Sukuna was reincarnated into a cursed object. His power was too powerful to be destroyed, so his strength remains in the form of 20 fingers that are scattered throughout Japan. His foe also seemed to perish in this battle. However, he managed to only slightly survive Sukuna's domain expansion near the end of the battle. He quickly escaped as the sun was about to rise, and he made his way back to his hideout. He was in critical condition and made it his mission to attain immortality and one day battle Sukuna again. In current times, Muzan has began creating more and more demons to hopefully find one with immortality, while on the other side of Japan, Sukuna's fingers have been found by a student named Itadori Yuji. Prior to this, a man named Geto released several curses to Japan in an event called the Night Parade of 100 Demons in 2017. This has caused Japan to revert back to how it was during the curse and demon-filled era. Humans over the world die at insanely fast rates, an issue that would need to be addressed. The Demon Slayer Court's active furs alerted citizens of the return of curses and demons. They declared that everything would be fine though, as they were creating a group called the Hashira. This group would consist of the strongest demon slayers in Japan, and their main job was to slay demons to protect the people. However, the Jujutsu world wasn't as quick to act. They shot down any rumor of the return of curses that were brought into this world at their own hand, and simply blamed the Demon Slayer Courts for the resurrection of demons. They believed that since humans couldn't see curses anyways, there was no reason to scare anyone. The Demon Slayer Courts did not like this response for the Jujutsu world, as they believed they were putting all the burden onto them. As a result, there was never an alliance formed between the two groups, and some groups would even attempt to raid and sabotage the other. Not everyone was involved in this conflict though, as several students in Tokyo Jujutsu High and demon slayers rising up the ranks only cared about the protection of the people. Here in Tokyo lives a boy named Itadori Yuji. After eating one of Sukuna's fingers, he was supposed to be immediately killed. However, the strongest sorcerer Satoru Gojo fought against this. Now he attends Tokyo Jujutsu High along with his fellow sorcerers Megumi and Nobara. They're currently on their first mission together, as they responded to a rumor of a cursed womb inside of a juvenile detention center. The three sorcerers entered the building, and a curtain is soon placed over to hide them from outside society. The area they arrived in is a curse's domain, meaning Megumi will have to use the divine dogs to search for survivors. They're barking. Doesn't this mean they found something? Asked Yuji. No, this is strange. Usually they act much calmer when they detect a curse or a human. Could it be? Did the demon somehow get inside the curse's domain? Responded Megumi. A demon? I heard about those from Gojo Sensei. Apparently they're visible to humans alike curses. Also, there's no way to kill them with our curse technique like curses, said Yuji. I've never heard of them. I guess word doesn't get around much in the countryside, responded Nobara. This is the first time I've ever ran into one. Yuji, the human we came here for, is most likely dead. Focus on taking out any curses and demons instead of worry about him. Wait for Shigeru. His mother asked to rescue him. If there's anything I could do, I will help first, responded Yuji. He was set on saving anyone he could from this cursed domain. Yuji believed that everyone deserved the righteous death that doesn't come from the hands of a curse or a demon. Even if it meant his death, he would save everyone he could. However, Shigeru believed that sorcerers' job was to exterminate curses, not to be heroes. They exited the area they were in and arrived inside of another room. The scene was frightening to their eyes. A bloody body laid lifeless in the corner of the room, the bottom half of his body missing. Alongside him, two other bodies appeared unrecognizable. As Yuji checked the name tag of the only sort of intact body, it read the name that the mother told them about. As he attempted to bring his body with him, Megumi stopped him and told him to leave it. They got into a bit of a quarrel when suddenly they heard a loud crash into the wall next to them. When they looked over, they saw a curse caved into a wall, its body mostly destroyed. As the 3 Jujutsu sorcerers laid their eyes upon the curse, they became unable to move. It carried such an aura that shivered their existence. Is this a special grade? Yuji thought. But why was the special grade so heavily damaged? No other sorcerer should be here. They would have heard Megumi divine dogs barking if there was another special grade near. While their attention was stuck on the special grade curse laid unconscious on the ground, a loud drum-like noise came from the other side of the room. Abruptly, the entire room shifted to the right, knocking the students off their feet while causing objects to fly at them. Megumi quickly called out his Nue to grab them and float in the air. What was that? Something caused us to roll around the room. No, more like the room itself rotated around, said Nobara. Over there. Yuji shouted and pointed at a figure that stood across them in the room. Though the entire room just rotated to the right, it still remained on the ground. It looked nothing like any curse they've ever seen. It had the appearance of a human, only its eyes differed from normal humans. Also, drums were covering its entire body, one on each shoulder, each leg, its navel, and its back. How dare you all enter my turf? The mysterious figure finally spoke its first words, revealing its razor-sharp teeth. Turf, this must be the curse who created the cursed domain. We must defeat him and get out of here, said Nobara. Wait, we were too busy rolling around to notice, but the cursed domain is already destroyed, said Megumi. Nobara and Yuji looked around, noticing that they were no longer under the cursed domain. Once they were caught in the rotating room, the scenery had changed, unbeknownst to them. So the special grade curse was the one who was thrown across this room. It was the one who created this domain, meaning that thing down there is a demon, said Yuji. He used his hand to bang the drum on his left leg. The entire room shifted backwards, but with the Nue holding them, the sorcerers were not harmed. Sukuna, switch with me and defeat this demon. If he's stronger than the special grade, then we have no chance, asked Yuji. I refuse. If we switch out, I will kill the demon like you asked, but I'll also kill Fushiguro and Kugisaki as well, said Sukuna. Yuji grunted as he realized that Sukuna wouldn't be as cooperative as he hoped. Through this interaction, though, he found his resolve. Fushiguro, Kugisaki, escape from here. I'll switch with Sukuna once I receive a signal from one of you. Until then, I'll stay here and try to battle it alone, said Yuji. What? Are you insane? That demon took care of the special grade without a scratch. Also, without Nue, you'll be stuck inside of it. He suddenly cut off by Yuji. Please, Fushiguro, said Yuji in a calm and collected tone. The two quickly flew out the room to make their escape. With the flying Nue no longer around, Yuji used his incredible speed to blitz the demon. As he got closer, the demon bashed his hands into the drum on his navel. Yuji prepared for the room to rotate again, but he heard a loud scratching sound rip across the surface he stood on. As he was too busy waiting for the rotation, he was unaware of the attack. The speed was too quick for any normal human to react to. However, Yuji wasn't just any normal human. He had inhumane strength, agility, and fighting ability. At the last second, he launched himself from the side of the room he stood on to another. The demon was surprised by this, as he'd never met a human that was faster than his attacks. While his guard was open, Yuji dashed towards the demon and connected a right hook to his face. The demon flew from where it stood, but Yuji didn't give it time to rest. He dashed from his footing to continue his barrage, when suddenly he got the signal to switch with Sukuna. He called for Sukuna to come out. Sukuna manifested from Yuji's body and took over. A demon, huh? I haven't seen one of your kind in some time. Is your master Muzan still doing well? I'm sure someone his strength didn't actually die in our battle centuries ago. Who are you to speak his name? Don't speak like you're someone of that's here. For such a crime, I should kill you now. Maybe he'll give me my position back. The demon began smacking every drum on his body ferociously, causing the room to go into a frenzy. It spun each way, and claw slashes shot around. Sukuna was able to dodge all of them, but the rotating the room caused him problems. Cursed energy is useless when killing a demon. If only I had the strength I did back when I fought Muzan. However, my domain expansion will render you useless for some time, so I'll resort to that, said Sukuna. He activated his domain expansion, Malevolent Shrine, cutting the demon into several pieces. No matter how skilled the demon or curse is, they can't escape the domain expansion once it's activated. The demon laid on the floor, but it wasn't dead, just severely injured. After seconds passed, the demon regenerated once again. That move, I've heard stories about it. You must be the king of curses, Sukuna. Maybe, just maybe, if I kill you, I'll be promoted once again, said the demon. I don't care about you or your little promotion. I see that without finding my sword, I will be unable to kill you. I know what I'll do. I'll kill you over and over until you're forced to give up. Then I'll allow you to call for your master Muzan to bring him here. Then I'll kill all of you in one swoop, said Sukuna. The demon's demeanor changed, no longer carrying the same pride for his territory as it did before. This was because of the incredible presence of Sukuna. Though he didn't have all of his power, he still carried an aura to him that would scare anyone who walked past him. Knowing it was impossible to defeat the monster that stood in front of him, he hit the drum that was on his back. Suddenly, Sukuna was in a different room, with the demon no longer in sight. My, what a weird way of retreating. He must be trying to get away, maybe to kill the other two who left, he said to himself. Sukuna was correct. The demon planned on leading the two back inside his mansion to pick them off one by one since he couldn't defeat Sukuna. Outside, Megumi and Nobara began to grow worried for Yuji. Do you think he was unable to defeat the demon, even while switching to Sukuna? Asked Nobara. I don't know myself, but he told us not to go back inside at any cost, responded Megumi. Back inside, Yuji switched back with Sukuna to try to catch up to him before he could lure in the other two students. However, he couldn't get much closer as he kept being teleported room to room from the demon's ability. Dang it, if this keeps up, it will reach for Shigeru and Kugisaki. Even if I do find it, my cursed energy wouldn't be enough to take it down. What should I do? As all hope seemed it was lost, Megumi and Nobara spotted two people running to the building in a sprint. What? Don't go in there, it isn't safe, shouted Megumi. The two didn't listen and continued to run inside. Back inside, the demon was close to reaching the front doors to kill Megumi and Nobara, when suddenly, a slash cut across his leg, cutting it off. Such a clean cut. It can only be from a demon slayer, said the demon. A green and black cape was all he could see, as the person had his back toward him after cutting him down. An attire that demon slayers were known for, and also a sword by their side. Zenitsu, look for any survivors. I'll handle this demon, said the boy in the green and black cape. Me? I just want to go home, but anything is better than fighting, so I'll be off. With this, the boy in the yellow and black cape took off. The other boy turned around and pointed his sword at the demon. I'm Tanjiro Kamado of the Demon Slayer Corps, rank 10. While Yuji, Megumi, and Nobara were raising up the ranks of sorcerers, Tanjiro had been doing the same as a demon slayer. Up to this point, he'd been going through even tougher hardships than the sorcerers have. While Tanjiro was out one day, he returned home to the scene of his entire family being slaughtered. Scattered bodies filled the house while the splattered blood made his stomach twist and turn. Once he got the guts to fully inspect the situation, he saw that there was one person still alive, his sister Nezuko. Questions poured into his mind, such as, who did this, and why did they do this? He didn't linger for long though, as he knew he had to rush Nezuko to a hospital. Where he stayed, there wasn't any roads for fast transportation, so he had to resort to carrying her on his back. After walking a good distance through the snow, Nezuko awakened. However, this wasn't the same Nezuko that Tanjiro knew. Nezuko had turned into a demon. She tried to attack him, but at a last second block saved his life. He didn't want to harm his sister though, and as all hope seemed to be lost, a man in a cape came to the rescue. He had intent to kill Nezuko, but this isn't what Tanjiro wanted. Even if she was a demon, she was still his sister. He yelled at the man to let her go, but he wouldn't listen. Nezuko rushed to protect her brother from this man. This shocked him, as he's never seen a demon move so quickly to protect someone. He finally surrendered and allowed Tanjiro to leave with Nezuko. After running away, he encountered demons that he barely fought off thanks to Nezuko. This was until he met a man named Irukadaki who began training Tanjiro for the final selection, which is what allowed people to become demon slayers. He passed the test, and now he was able to go on missions to save citizens from demons. He met Zenitsu through one of these missions, and now they travel together. He was informed about a demon that lived in the mansion who had human travelers come through, so he rushed there as soon as possible. This resulted in him being here now, as fate brought him here and the sorcerer together. After introducing himself, Tanjiro prepared to take out the demon. Everyone here had already been killed, so the least he could do was finish the mission he was assigned. He swiftly leaped toward the demon who stood in front of him. However, it hit the drum on his right shoulder, causing the room to shift to the right. He's taken off guard by this, never seen a demon with such an ability. Luckily, he's able to bounce off the floor and continue to drive ahead. He was met by a slash that came from another one of the demon's drums. He'd been caught so off guard by the rotating room that the slash connected into his back. He's tougher than any other opponent I've faced thus far. This will take some time, said Tanjiro. Only a few rooms away, Yuji dashed from room to room to try to find the demon. Its room switching attack was very effective, causing Yuji to be confused on his way there. As he kicked down the door into a room, he ran into a boy he's never met before. Before Yuji could ask for his name, the boy let out a loud scream. He looked absolutely terrified. His face was frozen. A demon? Said the boy. A demon? Where? Asked Yuji. He was completely confused as he didn't sense anything near her. Your hand, why is there an eyeball sticking out of you? Asked the strange boy. Oh, that's just Sukuna, nothing to be afraid of. After talking for a bit more, Yuji discovered the boy's name was Zenitsu. Zenitsu believed Yuji was a demon from his mysterious appearance, and he was still afraid despite being told about Sukuna. Anyways, have you seen a demon anywhere near here? I must defeat him before he reaches my friends, asked Yuji. Zenitsu pointed out where he saw the demon and told Yuji that his comrade Tanjiro was already facing it. Yuji thanked him and rushed into the hallway to assist Tanjiro, but Zenitsu stayed behind to avoid fighting. Yuji arrived as the room was shifting, and he spotted Tanjiro being flipped around every direction of the room. He must be a demon slayer just like the other boy I met. I can tell from his swift movements that he's skilled. He could probably even take care of this demon alone if given enough time. But it will be easier for the both of us to fight, so I should join as well, Yuji thought to himself. While Tanjiro maneuvered around the walls of the room, Yuji had a clear shot towards the demon. He ran into the room at full speed and knocked the demon down with a drop kick. Tanjiro didn't expect anyone to arrive, and better yet with this much strength. However, he didn't take this opportunity for granted. He swung himself directly toward the demon, then used his blade to cut his head clean off. Upon his defeat, the demon's effect on the room wore off, and the boys were now safe. Thanks for the assistance, said Tanjiro as he bowed his head. No problem, thank you as well. That demon was giving me problems earlier. Your sword, I heard that demon slayers had those specifically designed for battling with demons, asked Yuji. Yeah, this blade is made specifically to kill demons, as they're created with scarlet crimson iron sand and scarlet crimson ore. I can see that you are a demon slayer, so who are you exactly? Asked Tanjiro. Yuji explained their entire situation up to now, which shocked Tanjiro. A cursed object? So the story I heard about the legendary Sukuna were all true? Asked Tanjiro. They began walking towards the exit, but suddenly Tanjiro stopped. He began sniffing, then yelled for Yuji to get out the way. From the ceiling of the mansion, a demon crashed through. Both Tanjiro and Yuji tried to turn around to get a good look, but they couldn't even lift a foot. The menacing aura of the demon was just too strong, overwhelming the two into a frozen state. It seems you don't need this finger that this peasant curse was carrying, so I'll take it myself. A voice came from where the demon stood, making Yuji finally turn around due to the shock he felt from this statement. A finger? How didn't I notice this before? Was I too preoccupied while fighting the demon? Yuji thought to himself. I tried to tell you, but you were too busy flipping across the walls to notice, said Sukuna from within Yuji's body. I won't let you escape with that, said Yuji. He moved on courage alone, as the fire of the situation would render him paralyzed otherwise. Tanjiro screamed out for Yuji to stop, but he didn't listen. As he got closer for a punch, he got a good look at the demon. He was a muscular demon with thick blue lines across his entire body. He also had bright pink hair and yellow eyes that shone brighter than anything else in the room. But this was all Yuji saw, as even before he stepped in front of the demon, he felt the blow connect to his stomach. From far away, all Tanjiro saw was the demon moved his hand in front of him, but the effect would be a huge shockwave that blew Yuji away. He crashed through multiple rooms, every impact not even coming close to the pain of the punch. When he finally landed, he had already reached outside the building, his body crashed into the concrete near the entrance. Tanjiro was shaken from this ordeal as he rushed to see if Yuji even survived this blow. However, as he took his first step outside, he stopped right in his tracks. His eyes caught the view of two other bodies on the floor, bloodied and beaten. He thought back and realized he saw these two before. It was the two people who stood outside the building warning him not to go in, Megumi and Nobara. Wanting to get revenge for these three victims, he rushed back inside the mansion. However, once he made it back into the room, the vicious aura that once paralyzed him no longer lingered through. The demon had left, alongside the finger that it held before. A great distance away from where the destruction that took place in the mansion stood a city named Shibuya. This was where the demon made its escape to after it retrieved the finger. Traveling such a distance took no time, and if it meant retrieving something for his master, then it wouldn't be an issue at all. He arrived inside the hideout and walked through proudly as he completed his mission. "Master, I've retrieved the object that you assigned me to get," said the demon. "Great work. It wasn't a mistake at all assigning you to the upper rank 3, Akaza. Do you know the power I've reached with this object? To think that reading the mind of such a useless demon could lead me to finding where my rival, Sukuna, has been all these years. And that boy, Itadori Yuji, seems to be the catalyst for these objects. No worries, however, as I am truly the only one who should bear these fingers. Finding and eating all 20 of these fingers will give me such power that I'll attain immortality in no time and finally prove that demons are superior to curses," said the master of all demons, Muzan. He received the fingers from the hands of Akaza, then let out a laugh as he was finally reunited with his greatest rival. With one swallow, he completely devoured the finger of Sukuna. No negative effect was brought upon him, as the heavy poison of the fingers could not kill the demon. With Muzan devouring one finger and Yuji having another, now there existed 2 fragments of Sukuna in the world, alongside the 18 other fingers. Both the Jujutsu world and the demon slayers are ignorant to the fact that the strongest demon alive has suddenly gotten stronger, as eating Sukuna's fingers caused Muzan to gain cursed energy. A demon with cursed energy now lives in this city, and now he has the ability to create demons with cursed energy, a foe that would prove so powerful that the country of Japan would have no choice but to fall under. However, a glimmer of hope still exists within these 2 factions. The group who is capable of defeating the highly powered spirits in the region, the Hashira, and the one man whose existence is strong enough to cause shockwaves to curses, Satoru Gojo.